Have you ever eaten breakfast thinking you were doing something good for your body, only to discover later that those same healthy foods were quietly damaging your kidneys every single morning? Most people don't realize this, but the very first meal of your day can create a silent storm inside your kidneys, raising your blood pressure, spiking your phosphorus levels, overloading your filtration system. And the scary part is, you don't feel the damage until years later when the symptoms finally show up. And by then, for many people, it's already too late to reverse. I'm Dr. Johnny, and if you've been waking up tired, feeling a strange heaviness in your lower back, or noticing swelling in your hands or feet, you need to hear this, because these are not random signs of aging. They're your kidneys whispering for help before they reach their breaking point. And the truth is, your kidneys don't scream when they're in danger. They go silent, they work harder, and they quietly deteriorate while you go about your day believing everything is fine. But here's the good news, and the reason you absolutely need to stay with me until the end. With just a few simple breakfast changes, the same kidneys that are struggling today can begin to recover filter more efficiently and protect you from fatigue, inflammation, high blood pressure, and even long-term kidney decline. Small steps in the morning can create massive changes in your health, and the very last food on this list is the one almost every American eats thinking it's healthy, when in reality, it's the most dangerous of all. And once you understand why, you'll never look at your breakfast the same way again. So before we dive into these 5 hidden kidney saboteurs, let me take you into the first one, a food that looks innocent, even wholesome, but begins attacking your kidneys before your day has even started. And trust me, if you've been eating this for years, what I'm about to reveal might shock you. Processed breakfast cereals, the healthy food that betrays your kidneys before your day even begins. Most people grab a bowl of cereal thinking it's quick, safe, and clean. But inside that colorful box is one of the fastest ways to overload your kidneys before 8 a.m. And I've seen this happen over and over in my clinic. I once had a patient named Robert, 58, who couldn't understand why his legs felt heavy every morning or why his blood pressure kept climbing, even though he had switched to heart-healthy whole-grain cereal. What he didn't know, what most Americans don't know, is that many boxed cereals are packed with hidden sodium and phosphorus additives designed to keep the flakes crispy on the shelf. But once they enter your bloodstream, they force your kidneys into immediate overdrive. To put it into perspective, a single serving of cereal can contain between 150 and 300 milligrams of sodium and up to 400 milligrams of phosphate, additives, chemicals that the body absorbs nearly 90% faster than the natural phosphorus found in real food. When those additives hit the blood, your body tries to balance them by pulling calcium out of your bones, and that calcium phosphate mix flows straight into your kidneys like a heavy storm. Over months or years, this constant push and pull quietly damages tiny nephron structures, the very filters that keep your blood clean. And it doesn't stop there. The average healthy cereal also carries 10 to 12 grams of sugar per cup, causing a rapid spike in insulin. And when insulin rises, your kidneys respond by holding on to more sodium, making you feel bloated, thirsty, and tired far earlier in the day than you should. If you've ever finished breakfast and felt strangely drained or unusually thirsty, it's not in your head. It's your kidneys reacting to the hidden chemical load you just fed them. That's why rebuilding your breakfast doesn't mean giving up comfort. It means replacing the trap with something that truly supports your kidneys. Whole rolled oats or steel-cut oats stabilize blood sugar, reduce sodium retention, and deliver magnesium that helps blood flow smoothly into the renal arteries. Add cinnamon for improved glucose control, blueberries for antioxidant protection, or chia seeds for gentle hydration, and your kidneys finally get the calm, steady start they deserve. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's another breakfast favorite one, far saltier, far more deceptive and far more destructive, that silently pushes your kidneys toward long-term decline. And most people eat it without a second thought. And if processed cereals silently strain your kidneys, the next breakfast favorite doesn't just strain them, it floods them. I'm talking about bacon and breakfast sausage, the 2 foods that smell amazing in the morning, but hit your kidneys like a tidal wave of salt and preservatives. Most people have no idea how severe the impact is until it's too late, because the danger hides behind the flavor. The crispy edges, the sizzling sound, the aroma. They distract you from what's actually happening inside your bloodstream. I still remember a patient of mine, Linda, 64, who insisted she only ate a few slices of bacon each morning. She believed it was harmless because she paired it with fruit and whole grain toast. But when we reviewed her labs, her blood pressure was climbing. Her ankles were swelling and her kidney filtration rate had begun slipping faster than expected. The culprit. Just 3 slices of bacon can contain 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium, nearly a third of an entire day's limit for kidney health. And that's before we even talk about the phosphorus preservatives, often another 200 to 250 milligrams per serving that your body absorbs at lightning speed. Here's what the science shows: excess sodium forces your kidneys to retain water, raising your blood pressure and making the nephrons filter harder, while synthetic phosphorus pulls calcium out of your bones, sending a damaging mineral load through your kidneys day after day. But the danger doesn't end there. Bacon and sausage are loaded with nitrates and nitrites chemicals linked to oxidative stress and inflammation that slowly scar the delicate blood vessels delivering oxygen to your kidneys. When those vessels narrow, filtration weakens, waste builds up, and symptoms like fatigue, swelling, or back heaviness begin creeping in quietly. If you've ever felt unusually thirsty or bloated after a salty breakfast, that's your kidneys working overtime to stabilize your internal balance. But the solution doesn't require giving up protein. It requires choosing protein that respects your kidneys instead of attacking them. Egg whites deliver clean, low-phosphorus protein without the chemical load. Greek yogurt offers probiotics that calm inflammation. Unsalted turkey slices cut sodium dramatically, and for plant-forward eaters, a simple tofu scramble provides magnesium that relaxes blood vessels and supports steady kidney blood flow. It's not about abandoning breakfast, it's about upgrading it to something that fuels your body instead of draining it. But just knowing this still isn't enough, because there's another breakfast habit one almost every American believes is harmless that delivers a potassium surge your kidneys may not be able to handle. And the consequences can be far more dangerous than most people realize. And if bacon and sausage overload your kidneys with salt, the next morning habit overwhelms them in an entirely different way through potassium. Orange juice, the drink millions of Americans consider the perfect healthy start, can actually force your kidneys into a dangerous balancing act before your day even begins. It looks refreshing, it smells fresh, and it feels nutritious. But inside your bloodstream, it can trigger a silent electrolyte spike that your kidneys must fight to control. I once treated a patient named Harold, 61, who proudly told me he drank a glass of 100% pure orange juice every morning because he had heard it was great for immunity, but he couldn't understand why he was experiencing muscle weakness, strange heart flutters, and a constant heaviness in his chest. When we checked his labs, his potassium levels were higher than they should be, and the culprit was hiding inside that seemingly innocent 8-ounce glass. A single serving of orange juice contains around 450 milligrams of potassium, which may be safe for people with perfect kidney function, but can be dangerous for anyone with reduced filtration efficiency. When kidneys struggle to remove excess potassium, it begins to accumulate in the blood, affecting heart rhythm, muscle function, and nerve transmission. The danger becomes even greater when we consider fructose, the natural sugar in orange juice. Research from Harvard shows that high fructose intake increases uric acid, which forms sharp crystals in the kidneys, contributing to inflammation, kidney stones, and gout. To make matters worse, many commercial orange juices contain potassium-based preservatives like potassium citrate or potassium ascorbate, which add even more to the total load your kidneys must manage. So even when you think you're drinking something natural, your kidneys are dealing with a storm of potassium, sugar, and preservatives all hitting at once. If you've ever felt fatigued, lightheaded, or strangely thirsty after drinking fruit juice in the morning, your kidneys were likely trying to correct the imbalance. But supporting your kidneys doesn't mean giving up refreshing drinks. It means choosing options that hydrate without overwhelming. Diluting apple juice with water cuts sugar and potassium in half. Berry smoothies made with blueberries, cranberries, or strawberries provide antioxidants with much lower potassium levels. And choosing drinks labeled "no added potassium preservatives" helps you avoid unnecessary chemical intake. These small adjustments protect your kidneys while still letting you enjoy a flavorful start to your day. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because there's another everyday breakfast habit, something people add to their morning coffee without thinking, that quietly delivers phosphate additives, trans fats, and artificial chemicals that damage your kidneys far more deeply than most realize. And that's where things get even more concerning. And if orange juice overwhelms your kidneys with potassium, the next breakfast habit attacks them even more quietly through chemicals you don't see, don't taste, and never suspect. I'm talking about flavored coffee creamers, the sweet, silky liquid that turns your morning coffee into a dessert-like treat, but also turns your kidneys into a battlefield. Most people think coffee is the issue, but in reality, it's the creamer that carries the real danger. I once met a woman named Caroline, 57, who drank 3 cups of coffee every morning with a generous pour of vanilla creamer. She believed she was doing fine because she chose the sugar-free version, but she couldn't explain why her ankles were swelling, why her blood pressure was creeping up, or why her doctor warned her about early kidney decline. When we reviewed her diet, the problem became painfully clear. Most flavored creamers are loaded with phosphate additives, which the body absorbs instantly far faster than the natural phosphorus found in whole foods. These additives raise blood phosphorus levels, forcing the body to pull calcium from the bones, and that calcium phosphate mix flows directly through the kidneys, scraping and stressing delicate nephron structures. But it doesn't end there. To keep these creamers thick and shelf-stable, manufacturers add trans fats known to inflame blood vessels and restrict blood flow. And the kidneys depend entirely on clean, steady circulation to filter waste. When blood vessels stiffen, filtration weakens and toxins begin to accumulate. Even the sugar-free versions are dangerous because they often contain sucralose, an artificial sweetener shown to disrupt gut bacteria, triggering inflammatory compounds that eventually reach the kidneys. Combine all of this with the high sodium content of many creamers, and your kidneys are forced into a high-pressure battle before your morning even begins. If you've ever noticed swelling in your hands, tight rings, puffiness around your eyes, or a strange heaviness after multiple cups of flavored coffee, it may not be dehydration. It may be your kidneys signaling distress. But improving this is simpler than most people think. Replacing flavored creamers with unsweetened almond milk or oat milk removes phosphate additives completely. Adding cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar. A splash of vanilla extract gives natural sweetness without chemicals. And for people who love richness, homemade almond milk takes minutes to make and is naturally phosphate-free. Upgrading your morning coffee isn't about losing comfort, it's about giving your kidneys room to breathe. And once people make this switch, they often feel lighter, clearer, and more energized within days. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because there's one more healthy breakfast habit. One almost every health-conscious person proudly does that. Quietly loads your kidneys with sharp oxalates that form stones, trigger inflammation, and accelerate damage. And understanding this final danger may be the key to protecting your kidneys for years to come. And if flavored creamers quietly damage your kidneys with artificial chemicals, this next healthy morning habit harms them in a way that feels almost unfair because people do it with good intentions. I'm talking about spinach smoothies, the go-to breakfast for anyone trying to cleanse, detox, or boost nutrients. Yet almost no one realizes that raw spinach carries one of the highest oxalate loads of any leafy green. It's the kind of danger that hides behind a health halo. I'll never forget my patient, Martha, 52, a woman who did everything right. She exercised, avoided junk food, and proudly blended a large spinach smoothie every single morning. But she couldn't explain why she kept developing kidney stones, twice a year, sometimes 3 times. She thought it was genetic bad luck or dehydration, but the truth was sitting in her blender. Just 1 cup of raw spinach carries nearly 750 milligrams of oxalates, sharp crystal-forming compounds that bind with calcium inside your bloodstream. When those crystals enter your kidneys, they behave like microscopic shards of glass, irritating the tissues and slowly building into stones that block filtration and cause intense inflammation. It gets worse when you blend spinach with high vitamin C fruits like oranges, pineapple, or mango. Most people think they're boosting nutrition, but the body converts excess vitamin C directly into oxalate, doubling the kidney burden without warning. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that raw spinach smoothies dramatically increase urinary oxalate levels, especially in people with even mild filtration issues. And once the kidneys struggle to flush out these crystals, they accumulate silently until one day the pain hits seemingly out of nowhere. But the good news is that you don't need to give up green smoothies, you just need to pivot to kidney-friendly greens. Kale, romaine, arugula, and even Swiss chard contain up to 10 times less oxalate than raw spinach. And if you still love the flavor of spinach, lightly steaming it before blending can reduce oxalates by as much as 70%, making it dramatically safer. Pairing your greens with bananas, apples, or pears instead of citrus prevents the sudden oxalate surge, and adding flax seeds or chia provides omega-3s and fiber that soothe inflammation rather than trigger it. These small changes transform your smoothie from a kidney stressor into a kidney supporter. And here's something very few people know. If you often wake up with lower back tightness or stiffness, especially on one side, it may not be muscle tension. It may be your kidneys reacting to repeated oxalate buildup. Your body whispers warnings long before it screams. Listening early can save you from years of silent damage. But only knowing this still isn't enough, because there's one more morning habit, not a food, but a simple daily action that can either amplify kidney stress or instantly relieve it, depending on how you do it. And understanding this final piece may be the key to protecting your kidneys for the rest of your life. And if spinach smoothies overload your kidneys with oxalates, this final morning habit doesn't involve food at all yet. It can change your kidney health more dramatically than any breakfast choice you make. I'm talking about what you do in the first 10 minutes after waking up, a tiny window that most people overlook, but your kidneys never ignore. When you open your eyes in the morning, your body is mildly dehydrated. Your blood is slightly thicker. Your kidneys have been working all night without new fluid coming in. And how you treat them in those first moments can either relieve their workload or push them deeper into stress. One of my patients, Daniel, 67, never drank water when he woke up. He always started with coffee, strong black immediate. For years, he assumed it was harmless. But he couldn't understand why he felt dizzy in the mornings, why his lower back felt tight, or why his lab tests showed declining kidney filtration, even though his diet wasn't terrible. When we made just one small change, asking him to drink 300 to 400 milliliters of room temperature water before his coffee, his symptoms eased within weeks. His energy improved, his swelling reduced, his back tightness faded, and there's a scientific reason for that. Room temperature water thins the blood, gently restoring proper viscosity, so your kidneys don't have to force thicker fluid through fragile capillaries. Cold water, on the other hand, constricts blood vessels, making filtration harder when your kidneys are already waking up from an overnight workload. But hydration alone isn't the full story. Light stretching, simple forward folds, slow side bends, gentle arm lifts increases microcirculation around the kidneys and adrenal region. The Mayo Clinic notes that stretching boosts oxygen delivery to internal organs, while researchers at the University of California found that pairing hydration with movement improves renal perfusion, meaning more blood reaches the kidneys right when they need it most. These small motions help move stagnant fluid, reduce morning bloating, and support lymphatic flow so waste can move out rather than accumulate. It's like giving your kidneys a warm welcome into the day instead of forcing them into a cold sprint. And here's something most people never realize. When you skip water and drink coffee first, your kidneys respond by pulling water out of your cells to compensate, concentrating your urine, raising your risk of stones, and increasing internal pressure. But when you hydrate first and move gently, you decrease tension in the lower back muscles, improve circulation, and take immediate pressure off the filtration units that protect you. It's one of the simplest changes you can make yet. It has one of the biggest payoffs. But only knowing this still isn't enough. Because everything we've covered, every food, every habit, every hidden danger, leads to one final message, a message most people never hear until it's too late. And understanding that message can determine whether your kidneys weaken year after year or begin healing starting today. So now that you understand the real truth behind these hidden kidney stressors, I want you to remember something important. Your kidneys are not beyond saving. They respond beautifully the moment you begin removing the daily pressure they've been fighting against. And you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. Every small change you make in your breakfast routine, every moment you choose hydration over habit, every decision to give your body a gentler start to the day, all of it adds up. And your kidneys feel that relief far sooner than you might expect. If this video opened your eyes or helped you understand your body a little better, please save this video so you can return to these steps anytime you need them. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell because I'm releasing more doctor-backed guidance to help you protect your kidneys, lower creatinine, improve GFR, and build long-term health knowledge that could genuinely change your future. And before you go, let me leave you with this. Your kidneys are fighting for you every single day, quietly, tirelessly, without asking for anything in return. And today you finally gave something back. With the right choices, with consistent care, and with a little bit of hope, your kidneys can become stronger than they've been in years. Keep going, keep learning, and keep taking steps toward the healthier life you deserve. I'm Dr. Johnny, and I'm here with you on this journey one morning, one choice, one victory at a time.